Hello everyone, welcome back, GameBustersUK, part 11 of Prince of Persia Sands of Time.
Hell yeah.
Back with some more athletic action, some time stopping stuff, I don't know. But
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans, there we go. But the prince and... well, she kind of is a princess, but we just call her Farah anyway, is her name. The prince, because he doesn't have a name, him and Farah get slightly, shall we say, separated again. We have to make our way around the bar, to the baths, but we don't, ironically enough, end up in the same place. So the prince goes his own way, and I think it's this part. Oh, okay, I screwed up there. I don't think it's this part. I think it's the next part where we actually go to the baths, and he starts. Well, I like to say he has delirious conversation. He just starts talking to himself. He starts saying things like, "Oh, you were waiting here all this time. I didn't know you meant this, boss." And he starts, but obviously no one's there. He's just being like that. For,
He's just going crazy.
Yeah, he's just pretty much just going insane. He's just his being sarcastic is how I can say it. He's being sarcastic, talking to himself, saying different things and that. He's like, "Oh, just make it to the bath," she said. "It's not like I'm gonna die," she said. Sort of thing. That's pretty much how he's reacting. It's been a little bit stubborn with his pride and all that stuff. But suck it up, Prince. Suck it up. I don't know why that gave me so much trouble. I never did in the past. I don't know. I must have been recording late again. Yeah, here she is. That's nice.
There's a great open balcony. Come on.
The thing is, you don't meet up with her anyway, so what's the point?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm here. That's nice, Farah.
Just wanted to let you know.
And I did that part awkwardly. I don't know why I did that. I was supposed to just slide down, but oh well. Oh well. Get some more of this crystal meth.
Stay there. I'll come down.
White crystal meth. Power up the old dagger. Prince, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's it.
Just hugging the post.
The prince realizes he's suddenly afraid of heights. Get me down! Get me down! I don't want to do this anymore. I give up.
Where I am. This gate leads to the bath. Do you think you could find your way there?
Of course. Finding my way to the baths from here should be easy.
Good. I'll meet you there.
She actually takes him seriously. It's like, oh yeah, I can just make it to the baths. It's not like I know this area or anything.
Just ask the first secretary I run into. Could you direct me to the baths?
Yeah, he starts
Oh,
mumbling
thank you.
himself.
Don't mention it. I used to be a bath attendant.
He starts saying, he just starts talking to the sand creatures, asking them to give him directions. Yeah.
It's my own fault. With
Well, you never know, they might reply.
Right from the start.
He hasn't tried, has he? So, never know. Maybe all along they were just trying to have a conversation with him.
Well, it
And he
stops
just
now.
slaughtered them without hearing them out.
I know. Heartless prince.
Aye.
Excuse me, Mr. Zombie person. Could you direct me to the baths? So that's turn left, turn right. Thank you, sir. I have to kill you now, though. Oh, time for more trippy visions. See where this leads us. Oh, more scarabs. Oh yeah, this bit's a little bit annoying. I don't know why it shows Farah there, because we don't come into contact with Farah at all. So I really don't get that. But so Vision's trying to screw with our heads again. But To be honest, a lot of the time it looks like she's looking up as if to say she's seen someone, but it's not us, so I don't know what she's looking at. But I don't know. Looking at those birds is making me think of Forgotten Sands, because in Forgotten Sands you can actually jump on the birds. Well, you have to. They use the birds as platform mechanics, which is kind of weird, but that's what you have to do at certain points. They just basically say no platforming. You have to jump on these giant vultures. They don't attack you like they do in this game. They're just there to be platforms, really. So they got demoted. They got demoted
Aw.
from one series to another. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. I must have been so tired. I'm just jumping all over the place. God damn it! Although I mean, I will say this is a slight nitpick to this game, but sometimes the analog control is a little bit iffy, and you know, sometimes it does feel like that you're angling your analog stick in the right direction, but he still won't go in that direction. So I will say that is a little bit of an issue. That does
Yeah,
happen sometimes.
that always happened with like most of the old platforming games, though, isn't it? They
Yeah.
seem to have little shoddy controls most of the time.
Yeah. But don't get me wrong, I still find this game pretty good as a gem. But I guess when you're older, you sort of start to notice it's bad parts, you know.
Yeah, a little rough around the edges.
Yeah, exactly. Getting a bit past its time. That was unintentional. But yeah. I don't know, I still like Warrior Within, even though a lot of people, I mean, I don't think I've ever spoken to anyone or heard anyone who's kind of really promoted Warrior Within. They just, I don't know, they don't like it. They prefer Sands of Time's, I guess, soft-hearted. That's what I want the word. Yeah, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. Even though it's kind of, you know, zombies, dark and stuff, the Prince is still humorous with Farah.
Yeah.
And Farah is still kind of humorous. So that it's kind of soft-hearted. You know, it's that kind of
Yeah.
thing. You know, like you know. But Warrior Within is kind of like, oh, you know, I'm all rough around the edges. Someone's going to kill me. You know, I'm all about, you know, I'll kill anyone who gets in my way. Blood and, you know, oh look, you know, a hot woman in warrior armor trying to kill me. Oh look, hot woman in I don't know, dressing gown garments, I guess, trying to kill me. Um, I don't know, because that's kind of what it is. It kind of jumps from it jumps from 12 plus to 16 plus, and people didn't like that. People were like, oh, you know, oh, I don't like War Within, you know, this and this and this and da, 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 da. And they say it's one of, you know, it's the weakest. I think they just say that, I guess, just because Two Thrones is like Sands of Time, and War Within just kind of goes a completely different path. But it's still part of the series, and it still continues from it. And to be honest, I think it's the best battle mechanic anyway, in my opinion. And I mean, it's not like you're actually killing humans; you're killing zombies. So
Yeah.
you know, I don't know why people see it as that bad. And yes, there is swearing in that game, but he only swears like twice, I think. And they do emphasize on it though, for some reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In the beginning of War Even, slight spoiler, when you fight this woman, I won't reveal who she is, but she slashes the prince in the scene. I don't know, you might have remembered this. It's right at the beginning. He basically says, "Oh, you bitch," and they kind of just emphasize on it, like they zoom in on that scene when he does it, and it's just like, "You bitch," and I'm like, you don't need to emphasize on the fact that the prince now suddenly swears. It's weird. And there's one scene right at the end where this creature's chasing you, and it's like, "Die, you bastard!" And again, they kind of emphasizes on that, and those are the only two times that he swears. But it's like, okay, but you don't really need to emphasize on that. Yeah. I don't know. He does be kind of, he does kind of go dark, but he's still, he's still the prince.
Yeah.
it's still kind of the same. I mean, heck, his combat mechanics is a lot better and whatnot, but yeah, I don't know. The one thing I didn't like about Two Thrones is the fact that they took the choking mechanic away. But I know why. It's because they toned it down to 12 plus, so they obviously felt that the choking mechanic wouldn't be too good for for the younger ages, I guess.
Yeah.
But still, that's kind of disappointing, really. But
Yeah, because I've never actually played Warrior Within.
nah, it
So,
it's pretty good. But like I say, it kind of sways from the soft-hearted to the not soft-hearted in that game. So I'd say kind of like it's gone to from soft-hearted to God of War. That's how I describe it, really.
oh, right.
So I mean, if you like God of War, I can't see why you wouldn't like War of Him. But if you don't like God of War, then maybe you won't like War of Him. You know.
Yeah, I love God of War, so
Yeah.
that probably would. I am gonna actually buy it one of these days on Steam because
Yeah.
I know that you can get the all free on Steam, but I just haven't
Yeah.
got around to buy it.
Yeah, well, they released it like twice. You've got the trilogy, which is just all three games on the PS2, or you've got the actual HD collection, which has all three of them on the PS3 or PC or whatever. So yeah, quite a few releases for them, really. I
Yeah.
will say, slightly random, but PS3 games, PS2 and 1 ports to PS3s do have issues, like music issues. Sometimes some musics don't play when they should. Sometimes some of the physics. I mean, I watched someone play Prince of Persia from the HD collection, and there was an issue where in the bath, actually, in the next area, where normally you can just jump on this platform and just stab to get the crystals, but for some reason they mucked up the coding so that the platform was like water. So every time he stood on it, the prince kept sliding off. He kept trying to stab onto the crystals, and instead, in the little cutscene, he just kept sliding to the side. So he kept missing the crystal. People were like saying, "How did you muck that up? The coding was already there. Why did you alter the coding for that?" It's like, yeah, there is porting issues, which is slightly disappointing. But I guess what can you do? Either buy the original or you're stuck with the HD collection.
The HD remakes are never really HD anyway, so I don't know why they
No.
even call it. You never really notice any difference in the graphical fidelity, so
Not
it's
really.
like, well, I've never noticed anyway.
Nah, it. A lot of the games I see are just kind of like cell shaded, which not everyone likes cell shaded. So
After all this time,
you know.
I didn't realize you
Hmm.
meant these baths. I went to the other baths.
Well, I mean,
all across
I'm
the
glad
outside
that
city.
a lot of the games I do
Lovely
have,
bath and a rub with
I
fragrant
still do
oils.
have, and they still
Glad you
work
weren't
and
there.
stuff, and I don't have to
Stop
worry
talking
about
to
those sort of
yourself.
issues. But you'd think, like maybe even in the HD collection, because I don't think they do, that they'd fix any little issues that the original had, but
Mm.
they don't. If anything, it just comes out worse. Ironically enough, that bit where I just stabbed where I got the crystals, that's the bit where the guy couldn't stab. He just couldn't.
Oh,
He just
right.
couldn't stand on it. It kept knocking him off. Glitch with the HD collection. Weird. I don't know. Scarabs are back. I don't know why they're here or how they're here. They're just here. But this is the this is the baths area where he starts talking to himself. He talks a little bit, I think, in this part, but he'll be talking more in the next part to himself and whatnot.
Ah, yeah.
Even tells himself to stop talking to himself, so he's gone insane. Poor Prince, can't catch a break. Yeah, that's where we gotta go. In Warrior Within, there is a lot of time traveling. Well, there's actual time travel where you do have to travel to the past in Warrior Within and to the present. It's basically to change. It's basically to change his fate to what happened in the Sands of Time. They think, again, slight spoiler. If anyone doesn't want to listen, Um, they believe that the prince was supposed to die in Sands of Time. I'm guessing, I don't know, because he had the dagger that, he survived, and they're like, no, you were supposed to die. I don't know, it's weird. Or maybe all those times you fail in the game, you're supposed to die, and they're like, nope, you're supposed to die. I don't know. But there's this creature that's chasing him, and basically, he's told by this guy that he's immortal, he cannot be killed, and he will not rest until the balance has been restored. So basically, the prince being alive is the balance not being restored. So the creature will chase him down and kill him eventually.
Oh,
But
really?
he's all like, no, I want to survive. And it's like, I changed my fate before, I'm going to do it again. And that's pretty much what it is. So he goes around trying to change his fate and stuff. But yeah, the combat system is just like Two Thrones, but better, really. Just better.
I
But we'll get to that eventually.
know.
I'm not sure what game we should do next. Oh, here we go.
No.
There's a slight little premonition there of fairer falling. That's not foreboding at all. So yeah, for those of you who played this game, you'll know. But yeah, we're already getting flashbacks towards the end of the game already.
Story from here.
He doesn't say anything about it though, or emphasizes on it. Not
Just acts like nothing happened.
pretty much. Not yet, anyway. Later on, he will. There'll be a vision where Farah's like it looks like he's betraying him, and he's like, "Whoa, I ain't having that."